Hello everyone and welcome to my second boss guide. Today I'll be telling you about Taurus Demon. Taurus Demon is the boss of the Undead Burg, which means that if you're playing an ordinary playthrough, it will be the second boss you face. He is a little stronger than the Asylum Demon at 1215 hit points, but just like Asylum, he uses basic physical attack. It should be noted, however, that the arena this time around is much more interesting and important. So it's not just a square room. The first thing you'll notice is that as you enter the boss fight, the boss isn't actually there yet. It will only spawn once you go a certain distance into the room. So the first thing you should do is turn around and climb this ladder to kill the two crossbowmen that are standing on top of the tower. If you don't kill them, they will keep attacking you as you fight the boss. And since you don't have any time constraints whatsoever, because the boss doesn't spawn yet, I would strongly advise taking them out before actually triggering the boss. Now as you walk across the bridge and come just past this point here, the boss will spawn on top of the other tower and jump down, making the fight start. At this point there's multiple strategies you employ. The easiest and also recommended option is to use the arena to your advantage. As soon as the boss spawns, you just need to turn around and run straight back to the ladder where you went up to kill the crossbowman. The Taurus Demon will chase you, but if you run straight away, he will not actually catch up to you and do any damage. So he will basically reach the tower as you reach the top of the ladder. And then you can use the height advantage for a plunging attack, which does very nice damage against the boss. If you have taken damage, you do have time to heal when on top of the tower, but don't take too long waiting up there, because just like Asylum Demon, he has a way to get to you even if you're waiting up there. He doesn't punch you down, he can just jump up there. So bear that in mind. After you have done the plunging attack, you can either try to just fight him normally, or you can run to the other end of the arena, wait for the boss to come to you, and then dodge past him, get to the ladder again, rinse repeat for another plunging attack, and then do that until he's dead. Even with the starting weapons that should not be upgraded at this point of the game, maybe 3-4 of these plunging attacks should suffice. And yeah, that's definitely the easiest way to do it. Of course, you don't have to, you can also just fight the boss head on by dodging or blocking his attacks and then just hitting him when he gives you the openings. In the ordinary course of events, as I said, your weapon won't be upgraded at this point, so this will take a little longer and is far more risky than using the plunging attacks. You should also be aware that the railing is not intact in all places, so when his attacks knock you back, he can actually knock you out of the arena and you will just die from gravity. One way to make this method a little easier is to improve your damage, and while going the normal quote-unquote way, you will not have any upgraded weapons yet, you can grab some gold pine resin if you've got either the master key or you bought the residence key from the undead male merchant. And the gold pine resin adds lightning damage to your weapon. It's a fixed amount of lightning damage, which means in the later stages of the game, because the enemies have higher resistances, it won't do much. But this early on, especially considering the low resistance the boss has, you will deal a lot of damage by adding this lightning, as you can see right here. The same also applies to firebombs and black firebombs. Because of how early the boss is and how low his resistances are, you can still do a decent chunk of damage by chucking firebombs and especially black firebombs at him. Another option for ranged characters is to use the length of the wall to just kite him around. Basically, you bait an attack, step backwards so it will miss you, and then you have an opening to do a few attacks. And then you just do that over until you've reached the end, then you need to dodge past him and you can drag him the other way. And sooner or later he will die from that as well. That's especially useful for mages, so sorcerers. But it can also be done by the pyromancer. His fireballs won't be enough to kill him, but it will be close, and obviously because you're able to keep your distance, it's quite safe. There is one thing to note, the boss itself can also jump off the arena and die. He has one move in particular where he jumps back a little to gain some distance, and if the angle is correct, then he will jump out of the arena using that. It is, however, very difficult to set this up intentionally, so it's more something that happens by accident occasionally. I would not recommend trying to provoke this particular death, but if you're interested, you can obviously try. Now, defeating the boss rewards you with 3,000 souls and a guaranteed homeward bone and humanity. You will always get these drops no matter what. There is also a slim chance that he will drop his weapon, the Demon's Great Axe. This, unlike the humanity and the homeward bone, will not be added directly to your inventory, so you will actually need to check where he died to see if it dropped. It's only a 5% drop rate, so don't be surprised if you don't see it. And of course, if you manage to make the boss jump off, then the drop will not spawn, or it will spawn out of bounds, so you can't get it. The weapon, however, is not terribly useful this early on, because similar to the Demon's Great Hammer you get from Asylum Demon, it has a very high strength requirement, and thus you will usually not be able to use it for quite a while, by which point there is an alternate means of obtaining as many of them as you like. So it's not worth resetting over not getting this weapon. Instead, it's a nice bonus to have that might be interesting for strength characters, but generally it's more of a curiosity than a useful drop. Alright, all in all, I think this should provide you with all the information you need to fight Taurus Demon. I hope you found this helpful. As always, feedback is highly appreciated, and bye bye.